Hey everybody. Christmas Eve, December 24th. I mean, really, whew. It's happening. It's happening. Hey, Lena. Hey, Beth. Happy holidays. You know what? This deck isn't going to work. Days of the weeks. Hey, how you doing? Hey, Ginger. This one's better. I'm really going for gold lately. I'm not really sure what that's all about, because I've usually had this kind of not crazy about gold, right? But I have my Nana's brooch here on my hat, and golden tarot is in my everyday, right? But I kind of embracing the gold. Hey, Madeline. So that means something to me. Gold means a lot of things, but for me, it feels like it's closer to the truth. It's closer to the vein of what's happening. So I take that as a good sign. Thanks, Ginger. Here we go. December 4th, 2021. The Emperor. I am not surprised he shows up today. There are, ghosts of the past that show up today, right? There are phases in our lives. There are loved ones. There are not loved ones, that show up. And the Emperor, he kind of weighs. There's weight to the Emperor. There's a lot of traditional meanings, of course, to the Emperor. And I seem to veer off some cards sometimes because it's just my relationship with the card. But it's really today is about the weight. It's festive. It's supposed to be festive, right? The holidays, and I'm talking about all the holidays. And there is this weight to it, which is, it doesn't have to be melancholy. It is an awareness that has experience. This is experienced awareness where people might fantasize about being the Emperor. Oh, it's going to be great, woo, I want to be the Emperor. I'm going to do all these things to make sure that I'm Emperor. And then he gets onto his throne and he's just like, wow, nobody really loves me for me. It's like there's all these possibilities of what can happen once you're Emperor. Once you get to this place, let's say you're 16 and you're like, man, I just wish I was older. And then all of a sudden you're 45 and then you're like, wow, okay, I've got the weight of experience. And that's what feels like, I wish I was making my own decisions. Great, we're making our own decisions now. Adulting, how's that going? It's going good sometimes. It's really, really great. And there are other times where, well, if I'm getting older, that means my loved ones are older than that, right? That means the previous generation is also getting older. And all of a sudden you're like, neon is back in style? What? And then all of those things, right? So it's this, you're being a witness in your own life. You're getting to the point of your life where you're looking around and you're like, those people are in high school, they look like 12 years old, that kind of thing. And so, yeah, I guess I'm talking about getting older, but I'm also talking about, the weight of awareness. When you have the weight of awareness of your choices, this could be good. This could be bad too, right? You can go, wow, I can't believe that I made those choices and I put myself in that position. And this is where we get to write it. It's not just the new year that we get to write it. It's the new awareness. It's the awareness of evolution, right? A lot of stuff comes with the Emperor and it's like, whew, I need some laughter, that kind of thing. Justice and the Emperor, are you kidding? Oh my God, this is like every day when you watch the news. This is, yeah, if you are a cop for 26 years and you pull your gun as opposed to your taser unknowingly and then shoot somebody because he had a fucking tree hanging from his mirror. Don't even get me started. That's what that is. Justice and the Emperor. Yeah, these cards are so gold, right? So much gold. So, Google gold later. What does it mean? What esoterically, magically, what does it mean in an evolutionary kind of way? What are the properties of it? I'm going to be doing the same because it's just come up so strong today. And, the truth is what it means to me today. And so when Justice and the Emperor show up, it's like, man, that's a sucky circumstance to have to acknowledge. It's a sucky circumstance. This is the worst ever, but justice is going to happen. Wheel of Fortune reversed. So we have majors today. It's a major day. We have the grief of life experience. We have the gold vein of truth and justice, which doesn't always show up, right? It's just kind of lingering, but sometimes it really comes through. And then you have the Wheel of Fortune reversed, which is, man, the Emperor's really, really feeling the Wheel of Fortune reversed. Like, do I invest in maintaining my Emperor position? Do I recycle that into something different? Do I want to play the game anymore? Justice, there's a pandemic. It's like, it's not just Biden, right? It's like any leader that's like, oh, okay, well, I'd like to be able to, ideally, I'd like to be able to help my people, which is not usually the case, right? And then the pandemic comes and it's like, whew, your truth doesn't matter. It's also the old patriarchal system that's dying. Truth. But then you have the Wheel of Fortune reversed. And that feels to me like, well, yeah, the patriarchal system, it's in its death throes, right? So it's like, wow, the successful system is in a rebirth pattern. And it feels like that includes the earth, that includes pandemic, that includes all of these things, right? So it's like, wow, the old system, the old way of doing things, the old way of assigning gender, the old way of identities, the old just, nobody wants to get mansplained anymore, just ever. So it's the stuff that's coming up and it's like, it's the nitty gritty stuff and that there's got weight to it. And so the Emperor is really trying to process. I cannot succeed in the old way anymore. The circumstances are dictating my choices as opposed to me being in charge of it because the Wheel of Fortune is reversed. So how do I turn my wheel? So it makes sense. So I can make a difference in my environment, so I can make a difference in my savings account, so I can make a difference in my investment, whatever it is. We have to pick up the pieces of the game board and say, it's a fucking new game board now. We must adjust. This is adjustment, but this is like adjustment to rusty bolts, it's like, it makes awful noises and it needs lubrication and like all of these things. And as a friend of mine so wisely once said, anything is possible with lubrication. Anyway, so it's like, when you're feeling the weight of the world, just reassess because it just might not be the old way of approach. It's calling for a new way. And the gold vein, the gold thread is justice. It's truth. It's like, well, fucking, for fuck's sake, fuckity fuck. That's my Christmas Eve reading. I've had a lot of magical Christmases of blissful, unaware childhood, that kind of thing. I have had that, and that is amazing, and it is a real gift. And I think it's not sacred. like it was to me anymore. And I think that the more sacred things are just more primal. It's the planets, what they're doing. It's the moon. It's these kinds of, you know, it's primal, but it's enormous things. And so it's going to give you a little bit of vertigo to switch from the sentimental, nostalgic bits and pieces of unconscious living to the conscious living and awareness of the planets, of the big mythologies, right? I mean, I'll never forget, I was in, hey Jay, I was in a group meditation, which I normally don't do that kind of thing, but I was like, maybe I can learn something, you know, trying to just be open to learn things in a different way. And Anubis showed up like a fucking bouncer and stood behind me, big. And I was like, oh, I'm not supposed to be here. I need to protect myself. Like, he's here to protect me. He's like, this is not okay, you know? And so, you know, I didn't go back. And it's like, if Anubis is going to show up like a bouncer with his arms crossed like this, you know, you're going to listen. I got some big guns, you know, coming to show up and be like, how come you haven't meditated today? How come you're not feeding your magic today? Frida Kahlo is like, well, if I can paint, you can paint. Like, really, you've got no excuse. And so it's like this stuff where it's like, okay, I am giving up my control. Yes, control's an illusion anyway. And I am going to listen to my guides, and I'm going to listen to whoever shows up that, you know, shows me what's really important at the moment. We get trapped in a selfless, you know, I need to shrink my ego and I'm nothing. But at the same time, there's a protection that needs to happen and a fierceness, right? You got to be your own bouncer. You can still have a small ego when it comes to the how you connect to things. But you need that. It's not self-preservation. It's this idea that, well, you know, you got your magic. You have to understand that. You got to feel it. You got to own it. You got to protect it. You got to maintain that. You know what? Yeah. I am going to be aware of my magic. I'm going to feed it. And fuck the fuckers, you know? Not today, Satan, not today. You maintain that truth, right? And today it's gold. So, I mean, stranger things. But yeah, so Anubis, that was exciting, and I wasn't afraid, but I was like, okay, you have my attention now. Okay, gotcha. I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna, you know, and people, they call it a hedge witch, right? I make my own magic, and that's wonderful for the covens and all of the magical things that a group of people can do, but that's just Jay's like, not as enlightened as you, but I swear we're twin souls. That's awesome. Thanks, Jay. I'm, you know, you get to the point where you shut the human critic up, because that is the dust of doubt. That's the devil. That's all of those things, right? No matter where the fuck it comes from. And you just have to like beat it back. And I guess the underlying thing with the Anubis story is this thing where you have to have faith in your magic. You have to believe that not only is it real, but you can't be insecure about it. You can't be doubtful about it. You can't be shy about it. It's no time to be shy when you are in this alignment where you are creating lightning bolts for yourself, right? It's no time to be sheepish. It's no time to kind of say, well, I'm here with my magic in this small little basket. No, you're like, my fucking magic, it's fucking enormous. So that's the Anubis story, which for some reason wanted to show up today. I don't have an Anubis statue. I need to get one because clearly he's my bouncer. It's fucking amazing, right? The most amazing things happen when I meditate. Why don't I do it every day, right? So have faith in your magic. No time to be sheepish. You feed it, you feed it, feed it, and then you're like, whew, yeah, I actually value this so much. And it informs your choices, right? So you might have made choices in the past based on your conditioning, the circumstance in the moment, like whatever, fill in the blank. It's your own Mad Libs, right? But it's like, I got my alignment. It's like, you know, this whole time right now is like a personal, magical, evolutionary centrifuge where everything is spinning, and then it just shows you the appropriate level and order and layers of things. And if you listen, you get the right order, you level up. And it's all about, if I can do the work now, it's good. Hey, Sausage Emporium. I'm just finishing up, but, and I don't know if I'm going to do my live tomorrow. It depends on how I feel. Like if I'm in my robe and I don't feel like putting makeup on, I might say fuck it. But at the same time, isn't that the best time? So, you know, this idea that we're at this point where we're pretty much making our own holidays. We're making our own sacred moments. We're making our own, you know, understandings of how we connect and communicate. We're making choices. Fuck makeup. You know, it's really funny. If I don't wear, like, if I'm not wearing my red lipstick, people are like, are you feeling okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I just don't have my red lipstick on. Fuck off, you know? Yeah. Anyway, we're making our own sacred stuff. And yes, I have sacred red lipstick that, of course, always gets discontinued. So I got to shop on eBay. Hysterical. I'm way deep in creating these 2 decks, which is one you see behind me, and the other one is kind of top. You survive on red lipstick and coffee. Yeah, man, it's like it's the best antidepressant ever. But I was saying I'm working on these 2 decks, and one is super queer. And I can't wait to share when I get the bulk of it together. And it's moving a lot faster than mine, of course, because I'm just illustrating it. And I'm keeping it loose and fucking exciting. And so I should be putting something on Kickstarter in the next year. So that's super, super exciting. And of course, you know, I did get something in the mail for Christmas, which gave me goosebumps. I might as well share it. I got a pen and a pen cozy from Rachel Pollack, who is my mentor and, you know, tarot icon goddess. And I can't tell you how that made me giggle and squeal and like yell out loud like just a little kid. This is Rachel. And my interpretation of the World card, which is her. And you know what? Oh my gosh, do I have it here? I don't think I have it here. This is at home. This Cartomancer, which is cartomancer.com, right? Find the magazine. I'm in it with my painting of Rachel. Oh my God. And I have my pen. I'm probably going to frame it. I don't know. She probably would think that would be silly. I'll probably put some ink in it and only use this every time I write. Telling you, blessings are just, they're just happening, right? You just have to have, you know, people say you have to have faith, right? It is true, but I think that you get caught up in faith in what? This building? Faith in that flag? What the fuck faith in? No, you have faith in your own alignment and evolution, knowing that your choices are only going to get better because you are not woke. You know, it's not just like that. You know, any extremism is fucked up. Oh, I will use it. Thanks, Beth. There's magic in this pen. I know. It's so good. You know, if I'm ever blue, I go red, right? Yeah. I lost my train of thought, but it's not important. It's like the magic is there. You show up, it's gonna sprout. So, happy holidays, whatever it is that you celebrate. And I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna be working today, but I'm gonna go home and like get a nice time out. So that's my today. I'll see you tomorrow.